Welcome back to Morning Trade Live. Let's keep talking tech businesses and the comeback this year. Shares of data security company Varonis boomed almost 300% during COVID. Crashed last year alongside much else in the sector and have been coming back over the past quarter, including strength following the latest earnings in February. The CEO is joining us this morning, co-founder as well. Yaki Faitelson is the president and chairman of the board of Varonis from the NASDAQ. Yaki, thank you for being here this morning.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Tell us about your business as we hear so much about the need to secure data in the cloud. A lot of companies purport to do this. Tell us what you do.
Varonis is a company that specializes in data security. We have built a very sophisticated data security platform that essentially does three things very well. We find critical data and classify it, making sure that only the right people can access the right data, and we can very accurately understand abnormal behavior, and with that, we can alert on and prevent data breaches. The reality is that cyber attacks can come from anywhere and anyone, and you don't know where it will come from, but it's always going in one direction, and this is the data, and our expertise is to protect this data very efficiently.
How do you do that? Do you build walls? Do you monitor? Tell me in a way that I guess a non-tech person might understand.
We scan for the data, we understand where the critical data is and what is the potential access. In reality, an average user in every organization can access more than 50% of the data that they need to access. And the way that breaches work, you can compromise one user, one machine, and many times it can come from insiders. If you will think about breaches that change the world, like WikiLeaks or Snowden, they are coming from an insider. We understand the behavior and making sure that only the right people can access the right data, and we are doing this automated remediation of excessive access control and understand how people are using the data and can alert on any abnormal. If you think about security, you have many layers, and you're always trying to protect the digital assets. And we look at it, we are protecting the data inside out. We are going from the digital assets, and if any of the other layers will fail, we will always make sure that your data is protected. For many years, we have a self-hosted platform, and now we have built this SaaS platform that is completely oriented towards automation. We want to make sure that customer can realize the value without any effort, really effortless automation, and we are doing it very well.
What does the purchase agreement or the revenue stream look like with your customers? They buy this software, they pay you for a recurring service, because I imagine there was a huge amount of adoption during COVID. Let's say in a theoretical world where every company has some kind of security for their data, how do you make money after that big development boom?
No, it's people will eat, sleep, and create data. The data growth is the most powerful force in the world, and if you have critical data, someone wants it, and also this data live on many repositories, and there are many use cases. So we have many ways to start and protect the data. We protect it wherever it lives, and our land and expand strategy works extremely well. So we barely tap the market. There is tremendous amount of green field and a very strong competitive advantage. And once a customer become a customer, they usually buy more. And yes, it's a subscription contract, and they just buy the term license from us, and this is how it works. It's an annual contract.
Okay, and to your point about always creating data, do you charge people like by the byte? Is there like a volume cost, or if somebody's producing terabytes of data, can you upsell them for the more you have to handle?
We sell it. It's primarily per platform, and human users and digital identities that can access the data.
I see. Okay. So to maybe put this in perspective, not to talk about other businesses, but I know you guys just did a report that does look at a lot of other businesses and some of the potential openings for security risks and SaaS services. You examined the way $28 million of cyber risk, according to your report, is the average for a company, even if they're using well-known SaaS providers like Microsoft 365. You mentioned Box, you mentioned Okta in the report. Are those competitors that also offer security products, or is your security to secure those other providers?
Yeah, our security can secure the other providers, exactly. We are providing these data stores and the infrastructure that is closest to the data, and we automatically protecting these data stores and can make sure that you can use them in a secure way and with very little effort on your end.
Over the long term, is there a competitive aspect where these companies will try and do what you're doing on their own? And does that limit the potential market share you can take?
No, I don't think so, because what is happening is there is a lot of enrichment. You need to look at a lot of data stream, not just the platform itself. And it's a lot about the metadata and the connectivity between all the user stores and the data stores. So no, we are just in the middle between the digital user's identity and the data stores themselves. So it's just completely different level of intellectual property.
Gotcha. Okay, so I guess it kind of makes sense then to have a sort of checks and balances for a company, not to have everything concentrated in one provider. With regards to the fundamentals of the business, the market liked your last earnings. The stock is significantly up off the lows from the past year. You got hit in the last year, in the last quarter of 2022 in particular. Market seems to be very demanding right now in terms of profitability. Can you tell us about what the plans are to get the bottom line enriched and boosted, Yaki?
Yeah, the reality for us was always that we balanced very well growth and profitability. Last year, on a constant currency basis, we had 25% growth, and on a non-GAAP basis, we were profitable. Now we are transitioning to the SaaS, and the two leading indicators are going to be ARR growth and free cash flow. We guided for significant improvement in free cash flow, and this is key for us to make sure we can invest in the business, but constantly improve the economics and to be more profitable. What we have done is we build this SaaS platform that geared towards automation. And historically, customers got a lot of value from our hosted platform, but we needed to invest effort, and also the customers needed to put effort. And with the SaaS platform, customers can realize value sometimes with no effort or very little effort. And we believe that for the long term, it's a complete game changer for the business, and it can also affect margins in a positive way.
Okay, we will certainly keep tabs and follow along. Yaki, thanks for the introduction. Much appreciated.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Yaki Faitelson is the CEO and president, co-founder, chairman of the board at Varonis.